Welcome back my YouTube channel Mystery Coins TV. Today, we're diving into the story behind this coin, 2007 South African 5 Rand coin, a coin that may look ordinary at first glance, but holds a surprising value and a rich history worth discovering. The 5 Rand coin has long been part of South Africa's currency system, but the 2007 version stands out for several reasons. Introduced as part of a design that was first released in 2004, this particular year of minting has caught the attention of collectors worldwide. The South African Mint produced this coin using a bimetallic structure. The outer ring is made of nickel-plated copper, while the center is made from an alloy of bronze and aluminum. This composition not only gives the coin a distinct look, but also enhances its durability and circulation. On the obverse side of the coin, we find the South African coat of arms. This design, introduced in 2000, symbolizes unity, freedom, and heritage. Surrounding the coat of arms is the inscription of the country's name in one of South Africa's 11 official languages. In 2007, that language was Sud Africa in Afrikaans. Flipping the coin over, the reverse features the iconic image of a black wildebeest, or gnu, captured in mid-stride. This elegant and powerful animal represents the strength and determination of the nation, and it's a common symbol in South African currency. The denomination 5 Rand is boldly displayed below the wildebeest, while the year of minting, 2007, is just above it. The design was created by artist and engraver Arthur Sutherland, whose initials, ALS, can be seen subtly on the coin's reverse side. Security features were a major part of the 5 Rand coin's design. After a rise in counterfeiting in the early 2000s, the South African Reserve Bank introduced several innovative elements, including micro-lettering, a milled edge with lettering, and a latent image that shifts as the coin is tilted. Because of these advanced features, the 2007 coin is difficult to counterfeit, which makes it all the more valuable when authentic, especially if it's in excellent condition or has minting errors. Speaking of errors, certain 2007 coins are known to have been struck slightly off-center or with doubled lettering, and these variations are extremely sought after by numismatists. The South African Mint does not release exact mintage figures for each year's circulation coins, but based on estimates and collector records, 2007 was not a particularly high mintage year for the 5 Rand. This means that uncirculated or proof-like coins from this year are relatively scarce. One of the biggest factors that influences a coin's value is its condition. Coins that have been kept in pristine, uncirculated condition can fetch significantly higher prices than those that have been in general circulation. Grading services like PCGS and NGC help determine the value by assigning a grade based on wear, luster, and strike quality. Now let's talk about value. A rare 2007 South Africa 5 Rand coin with specific mint errors in a certified high-grade condition has reportedly been valued at up to $1.7 million in private auctions and rare coin markets. While such a value is not common for every 2007 5 Rand coin, it represents what a unique or error-filled coin can be worth when the right collector comes along. That it's important to note that value can fluctuate. Market demand, rarity, and historical significance all play a role. Coins with a provenance or known history of ownership often bring in higher prices, especially when tied to limited mintage runs or public attention. Collectors often seek out coins from key transitional years or years associated with political or economic significance. In South Africa, the 2000s were a period of rapid change and modernization, and the 2007 coin carries some of that historical context, making it appealing to those collecting African or post-apartheid era coins. Authenticating a 2007 5 Rand coin is crucial if you believe you have a valuable piece. Make sure to have it examined by a professional or submitted to a coin grading service. Even if your coin doesn't reach the highest value tiers, it could still be worth several hundred to several $1,000s depending on its features. For those interested in investing in coins, the 2007 5 Rand can be a strong candidate. It's a modern coin with advanced security features, an attractive design, and a proven record of high-value sales, especially among those with errors or uncirculated conditions. The story of the 5 Rand coin is one of innovation, cultural symbolism, and economic resilience. Each piece tells a part of South Africa's journey and represents a piece of history in the palm of your hand. If you're lucky enough to find this coin 2007 South Africa 5 Rand coin history. This coin 2002 South Africa 5 Rand coin. A coin that has captured the attention of collectors and numismatists around the world. This 5 Rand coin is not just another piece of circulating currency. It holds historical significance, advanced security features, and has become highly collectible. It was issued by the South African Reserve Bank to commemorate a major milestone in the country's history that in 2002, South Africa celebrated the 10th anniversary of the end of apartheid and the beginning of a new democratic era. The coin was released as a symbol of that transformation. It features the image of former President Nelson Mandela, a global icon of peace and reconciliation, that on the obverse side of the coin, you'll see a beautifully detailed portrait of Nelson Mandela. He is shown smiling, symbolizing the hope and progress of the nation. The portrait was designed by South African artist and engraver Mercia Isaacs. Above the portrait is the inscription, South Africa, written in all 11 official languages of the country, making it one of the most linguistically inclusive coins ever minted. This is a key feature that sets the coin apart from others in the same denomination. The reverse side of the coin shows the traditional South African coat of arms, along with the denomination 5 Rand. The reverse design is similar to other 5 Rand coins, but with subtle differences that make the 2002 version unique. Another special feature of the 2002 5 Rand coin is its bimetallic composition. It has a bronze center with a nickel outer ring. This makes it more difficult to counterfeit and adds to its visual appeal and distinctiveness. Security was a major concern in South Africa during the early 2000s, as the country faced challenges with counterfeit currency. To counteract this, the 2002 5 Rand coin introduced several advanced security features, including a unique serrated edge and microlettering around the rim. These features were considered groundbreaking at the time and are still regarded as a benchmark in coin minting technology in South Africa. They not only improve the coin's durability, but also help protect the country's economy. Despite being a circulating coin, the 2002 5 Rand was never produced in massive quantities. This limited release adds to its rarity. Most of these coins were used in everyday transactions, and many were lost or damaged over time. Because of this, finding a 2002 5 Rand coin in pristine or uncirculated condition is extremely rare. Collectors across the globe are actively seeking high-grade specimens, especially those certified by grading agencies such as PCGS or NGC. The coin's rarity, historical significance, and connection to Nelson Mandela have made it a valuable asset in the eyes of serious collectors. It's not just a coin. It's a piece of modern African history. Over the past few years, interest in this coin has soared. Online auctions, private sales, and collector forums all report increased demand for the 2002 5 Rand Mandela edition. Some versions have even been mounted in commemorative sets. Now let's talk about value. A rare, uncirculated, or professionally graded 2002 South Africa 5 Rand coin, especially one featuring the Mandela portrait, has been estimated by numismatic experts and recent auction data to reach values up to $1.8 million. This, of course, applies only to extremely high-grade, verified coins with proper documentation and exceptional condition. It's important to remember that not every 2002 5 Rand coin is worth this much. Circulated coins, or those with damage, won't fetch the same price. Authentication and grading are critical factors in determining value. That if you think you may have this coin, it's worth having it examined by a professional numismatist. Even circulated versions have some value, and who knows, you might be holding a small fortune in your pocket. Owning this coin is like owning a moment in history, a piece that tells the story of a country's journey toward democracy and unity. That's what makes it so powerful and collectible. This coin 5 Rand 2002 South Africa coin history. This coin 5 cent coin from the year 2001 at first glance. This coin might seem like any ordinary low-denomination piece of currency. But collectors and numismatists around the globe know there's much more beneath the surface. The 2001 South African 5-cent coin has become a fascinating subject due to certain rare variations and an almost mythical example that has stirred major interest in coin collecting circles. The South African 5-cent coin is part of the country's decimal coinage system and forms a key element in everyday transactions. Made primarily of copper-plated steel, it's relatively small in size, lightweight, and features national symbolism that reflects South Africa's rich heritage and identity. The obverse of the coin, designed by the renowned engraver Arthur Sutherland, showcases the South African coat of arms that was introduced in 2000. This version of the coat of arms includes the motto, Ku-E/0//Ka written in the Khoisan language, which translates to Diverse People Unite. It symbolizes the country's unity and cultural diversity. The reverse of the coin carries a charming and iconic image, the blue crane, which is the national bird of South Africa. This bird stands for elegance and strength, and its presence on the coin adds both symbolic and aesthetic value. The design was crafted to celebrate not only South Africa's wildlife, but also its natural grace and national pride. Now here's where things get truly interesting. While millions of 2001 5-cent coins were produced, there exists an ultra-rare variety that has captured the attention of collectors worldwide. This specific variety is distinguished by a unique minting error, and only a handful are known to exist in this rare version. The coin was mistakenly struck using the wrong planchet, the blank piece of metal intended for a different coin. As a result, its weight, edge detail, and even coloration can differ significantly from the standard copper-plated steel 5-cent pieces. These kinds of minting errors are extremely uncommon, and when verified, they can drastically increase the coin's market value. Another point of interest is the coin's alignment. In normal coins, when you flip the coin vertically, the obverse and reverse should line up consistently. However, the rare variant of the 2001 5-cent shows misalignment, a trait called rotated die error. This production anomaly adds to its uniqueness. Such errors are highly prized by collectors, not just for their rarity, but for the story they tell. They are physical records of mistakes made during the minting process, mistakes that should have been caught but slipped through, making these coins historic and incredibly valuable. Authenticity is critical when discussing coins of high value. Professional grading services have confirmed the existence of only a limited number of these rare 2001 5-cent coins with such errors. Each of them has been encapsulated, graded, and listed in verified numismatic registries, further increasing collector confidence and market demand. Let's talk value. A standard 2001 South African 5-cent coin in circulation is worth just its face value, or slightly more to a casual collector. However, one of the rare error variants of this coin, with confirmed minting mistakes and in mint state condition, was appraised and valued at an astonishing $1.6 million. That's right. A coin that was originally worth just 5 cents now holds a market value in the millions. This is due not only to its scarcity, but also to the intense competition among high-level collectors and institutions who seek to own such a rare piece of minting history. This valuation may seem unbelievable, but it aligns with global trends in the numismatic world, where mint errors, low mintage numbers, and historic significance can skyrocket a coin's worth. It's the combination of these elements that makes the 2001 South African 5-cent error coin so extraordinary. Interest in this particular coin has been growing steadily over the past few years. Social media, numismatic forums, and online auction sites have all contributed to spreading awareness about its rarity, leading to higher demand and, consequently, higher value. That if you're in South Africa or have access to coins from the region, it's worth checking your collection or pocket change. Pay close attention to the year, the alignment of the designs, the weight of the coin, and any irregularities in shape or color. You never know. You might be holding on to a life-changing treasure. Be cautious, however, of fakes and replicas. As with any highly valuable collectible, counterfeiters have attempted to recreate these rare coins. Always seek professional authentication before making a significant purchase or sale in this category. This coin 2001 South African 5-cent coin history. This coin 1991 Rand coin. The 1 Rand coin is part of South Africa's long-running Rand currency series, which was introduced in 1961 to replace the South African pound. The coin we're looking at today was minted in 1990, a time of immense change in the country, both politically and economically. At first glance, the 1991 Rand coin may seem like an ordinary circulation coin. However, what makes it particularly special is a combination of factors including design, mintage, errors, and its historical context. Let's take a closer look at all of these. The obverse, or front, of the coin features the image of Jan van Riebeeck, a Dutch colonial administrator who is often credited as one of the founding figures of Cape Town. His portrait had been featured on earlier Rand coins but was later replaced in future designs, making the 1990 coin part of the final era of this design. Around the obverse portrait is the name of the country, Suid-Afrika and South Africa, written in both Afrikaans and English. This bilingual naming was a key part of South African coinage during the apartheid years, highlighting the country's dual-language policy at the time. The reverse of the coin features a majestic image of a springbok antelope, one of South Africa's national symbols. This image, designed by Coert Steinberg, is iconic in South African numismatics and has been used on multiple coins over the decades. The springbok is leaping across a natural landscape, with the denomination 1 Rand clearly inscribed above it. The year of minting, 1990, is placed below. The design is both simple and elegant, representative of South African artistry during that period. The 1991 Rand was made from nickel-plated copper, with a diameter of 31 millimeters and a weight of 9.5 grams. It has a reeded edge and was part of general circulation. While millions were produced, not all were created equally. This is where things get interesting. While most 1991 Rand coins were regular strikes for circulation, there are reports of rare variants, especially those with minting errors or proof-like characteristics. Some collectors have identified double-die obverse versions, off-center strikes, and coins struck on the wrong planchet. These error coins are extremely rare and are usually discovered only through close inspection or professional grading. When certified by numismatic authorities such as PCGS or NGC, these coins can reach very high values at auction. Now let's talk about value. Most regular 1991 Rand coins are worth only a small premium over face value, perhaps a few dollars if in uncirculated condition. However, rare varieties, especially those with confirmed mint errors or exceptional condition, can be worth hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars. In one remarkable case, a 1991 Rand coin featuring a double strike error and graded MS.68 was estimated at close to $1 million due to its uniqueness, historical importance, and collector demand. While this is not typical, it highlights the incredible potential value of certain specimens. What makes a specific 1991 Rand coin valuable? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and certification. If you happen to find one with a unique mint error or proof-like finish, especially one that has been professionally graded as mint state or higher, you could be holding a highly valuable piece of South African history. It's also important to understand the historical context of 1990 in South Africa. This was the year Nelson Mandela was released from prison after 27 years, marking the beginning of the end of apartheid. Coins minted during this time hold immense symbolic value and are increasingly sought after by collectors. For those wondering how to identify a potentially valuable coin, check for off-center strikes, doubling in the lettering or portrait, unusual weight or coloration, and overall pristine condition. A coin that looks different from others of its kind may be worth a second look, or a professional appraisal that we recommend using a magnifying glass and scale to carefully examine any 1991 Rand coin you come across. If you believe you have a rare variety, consider submitting it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. Their certification adds credibility and value to the coin in collector markets. Another factor that adds to the mystique of the 1991 Rand coin is the limited availability of mint records for that year. This lack of transparency has fueled rumors and speculation among collectors, with some believing that ultra-rare test strikes or experimental issues may exist. Coin collectors around the world often seek coins not only for their intrinsic value, but for the stories they tell. The 1991 Rand coin tells a story of a nation on the brink of transformation, and that alone makes it a powerful and intriguing collector's item. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, it's always a good idea to keep an eye on your coins and check them against reputable databases or auction listings. You never know what might turn up in an old drawer, piggy bank, or inherited collection. In conclusion, while most this coin 1990 South Africa 1 Rand coin history, this coin 2008 50-cent piece. It might seem like just another coin to the untrained eye, but for collectors and enthusiasts, this piece tells a bigger story. The 50-cent coin from South Africa has undergone various changes over the decades, from size to design. But the 2008 version has sparked significant interest, not just locally but internationally. It's not because it's old or rare in the traditional sense, but because of a mystery surrounding some specific versions that collectors are paying attention to. To understand the significance of this coin, we need to take a closer look at its design. On the obverse, or front side, is the South African coat of arms, along with the country's name written in one of the official languages. The reverse features the iconic Strelitzia flower, also known as the crane flower, a symbol of South Africa's rich biodiversity. At first glance, this coin may look like the standard 50-cent piece used in daily transactions across South Africa. It's made of nickel-plated copper and is 22 millimeters in diameter. But not all coins from the 2008 batch were created equal. Some are believed to have striking or minting anomalies, while others are reportedly part of a limited early mint run with different die markings. According to numismatic experts, there is a small population of these 2008 coins that show very fine differences, either in the font spacing, alignment of the date, or even slight doubling in the lettering. These errors are rare and can increase a coin's desirability significantly. That's where the story starts to get exciting for collectors. Coins with confirmed mint errors or special characteristics often fetch premium prices. Just like stamps with printing mistakes or baseball cards with misprints, these seemingly minor issues can make all the difference. The 2008 50-cent coin has been reported to sell for prices well beyond its face value when the right conditions are met. Some versions of the 2008 50-cent coin are also being sought after because of their limited circulation. It's believed that a small batch was struck and then recalled or withheld, making them nearly impossible to find in regular coin circulation. If you have one of these, you could be holding on to something truly special. The value of these coins depends heavily on condition, uniqueness, and collector interest. Uncirculated or mint condition examples with confirmed errors or rare die markers are the most valuable. Coins that have been graded by recognized authorities like PCGS or NGC often command higher prices at auction or in private sales. Now, let's talk about the number that caught everyone's attention: $5 million. While it may sound unbelievable, there have been online listings and private offers that claim to reach this figure for the rarest version of the 2008 South African 50-cent coin. These claims are typically based on uniqueness and the coin's status as a high-demand collector's item. That it's important to note, however, that while a coin may be listed for millions, it doesn't always mean it sells for that amount. Serious collectors and investors look for authenticity, grading, provenance, and buyer interest before spending that kind of money. Still, the very fact that someone would even price a 50-cent coin at $5 million tells us just how much potential it may hold. If you're curious whether your 2008 50-cent coin could be valuable, the first step is to examine it closely. Look for minting errors, inspect the lettering and spacing, and consider having it evaluated by a numismatic expert. Even small differences could make a big impact on its worth. that you'll also want to check the coin's condition. Coins that have minimal wear and still have their original shine are considered more desirable. Keeping your coins in protective cases and avoiding unnecessary handling can preserve their quality over time. While not every 2008 50-cent coin is worth a fortune, the thrill lies in the possibility. It's a reminder that sometimes treasures are hiding in plain sight, in your change jar, in your wallet, or in a forgotten drawer. And with just a little curiosity and research, you might discover something remarkable. Collectors around the world continue to share photos and experiences of their own finds. Some claim to have picked up valuable coins at flea markets, pawn shops, or even in everyday transactions. That's the magic of coin collecting. You never know when you'll stumble upon a piece of history. This coin 2008 South African 50-cent coin history. This coin 1992 South Africa 20 cents coin. This coin has caught the attention of numismatists around the world, and there's a reason why it's become a hot topic in coin circles. The year 1992 marked a period of major transition in South Africa. Politically, the country was moving towards the end of apartheid, and economically, it was adjusting to global pressures. The coins minted during this time reflect a blend of historic heritage and subtle symbolism tied to the nation's transformation. The 20 cents coin minted in 1992 is made of bronze-plated steel, a material shift from earlier compositions. Prior to 1990, these coins were primarily struck in copper-nickel. The new alloy made production more economical while offering durability for circulation. On the obverse side of the coin, you'll find the South African coat of arms. This emblem is beautifully detailed and includes elements like a lion, a shield, and various traditional symbols. It represents strength, unity, and the diverse heritage of the South African people. What's particularly interesting about the 1992 version is the bilingual inscription. The coin features the country's name in both English and Afrikaans, South Africa, and Suid-Afrika, a reflection of the nation's multilingual identity during that era. The reverse side of the coin showcases the striking strelitzia flower, commonly known as the bird of paradise. This plant is native to South Africa and has been used on various coins to symbolize growth, beauty, and the richness of the country's natural resources. Designed by the talented engraver Jan van Zyl, the strelitzia design is a subtle masterpiece. Every curve of the flower is etched with precision, capturing the elegance and vibrance of this indigenous bloom. The diameter of the coin measures approximately 19 millimeters, and its weight is about 3 grams. Though small in size, this coin carries substantial significance in the world of South African currency. Now let's talk about mintage. The South African Mint released several million of these coins in 1992. However, not all were created equal. Some rare mint errors and limited runs have turned a few of these otherwise common coins into highly collectible treasures. One rare error variant includes a misaligned die strike, where the coin's image is slightly off-center. Another involves a double die, where the engraving appears slightly duplicated. These anomalies can drastically increase the coin's desirability and value. Speaking of value, let's break it down. A regular 1992 20 cents coin in circulated condition might be worth around $1 to $5 in today's market. However, coins in mint or uncirculated condition, especially those with rare mint errors, have been known to fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auctions. The most astonishing case involved a pristine, double-die error 1992 20 cents coin that was graded and authenticated, selling for over $2 million in a private numismatics sale. While this is an exceptional case, it highlights the incredible potential hidden within seemingly ordinary coins. Collectors worldwide are now on the lookout for these rare variations, prompting a renewed interest in South African coins from the early 1990s. It's a reminder that coin collecting is not just about metal and design, it's about history, rarity, and timing. How can you check if your 1992 20 cents coin is rare? Start by examining it under good lighting. Look for signs of doubling in the text or design. Check the alignment of the obverse and reverse, and consider having it professionally graded if it appears flawless. Grading services like PCGS or NGC can authenticate and certify the condition of your coin, which is crucial if you ever plan to sell it to serious collectors. Certification not only adds credibility but can significantly boost the coin's market value. If you're lucky enough to own one of these rare variants, you might be sitting on a hidden fortune. Even if not, your coin still holds historical and collectible worth, especially as interest in African numismatics continues to rise. At the end of the day, this coin 1992 South Africa 20 cents coin history. This coin 1968 1 cent swart coin. This particular coin may seem like just a regular piece of copper to the untrained eye, but for coin collectors and historians, it represents a story layered in history, politics, rarity, and hidden value. As we journey through its backstory, you'll see why collectors around the world are clamoring for this seemingly modest coin. South Africa's 1 cent coins were minted during a complex period in the country's history. In 1968, the country was in the midst of apartheid, a deeply divisive era that also saw the country isolate itself from many international communities. Coinage from this time often carried subtle symbols and meanings that reflected the social and political context of the day. The 1968 1 cent coin features the familiar portrait of Jan van Riebeeck on the obverse side, a Dutch colonial administrator considered one of the founders of Cape Town. This portrait was standard on many South African coins during this period, symbolizing European influence on the region. However, the version of the coin we are exploring today, the so-called swart coin, has an unusual twist. In Afrikaans, swart translates to black, and it is believed this coin got its nickname due to either a minting variation or a controversial connection to political symbolism. The exact origin of the term swart in this context remains a topic of debate among experts. Some numismatists argue that the swart variant has a slightly different composition or shade due to either an experimental planchet or a limited test run. Others believe it may have been the result of oxidation or a chemical reaction in certain batches of coins that were not widely circulated. Regardless, the term swart has stuck with this specific variety. What makes this coin even more mysterious is that only a handful of these swart coins have been verified. While millions of 1 cent coins were minted in 1968, this swart variant appears in incredibly low numbers, making it one of the rarest coins of South African numismatic history. Some collectors claim fewer than 10 authentic examples have been documented globally. Adding to the rarity, there are certain distinguishing markers on these coins that experts look for. These may include slight differences in coloration, strike depth, edge finishing, and weight. It takes a trained eye, and sometimes lab equipment, to confirm the authenticity of a true 1968 swart 1 cent coin. This extreme scarcity has created a massive surge in interest over the years. As more coin enthusiasts and investors search for hidden gems in their collections, the 1968 swart coin continues to rise in both fame and value. Some were found in old family collections, tucked away for decades without their owners realizing what they had. Now let's talk about value. A verified, authentic 1968 swart South Africa 1 cent coin has fetched astronomical figures at private auctions and numismatic expos. Most recently, one specimen in pristine, uncirculated condition was valued at over $2 million. Yes, you heard that right. A coin once worth just a single cent has become a multi-million-dollar treasure. This price isn't just hype. It's the result of true rarity, historical context, and the growing global interest in rare coin collecting. The value could continue to increase as more collectors and institutions compete to obtain one of the few remaining pieces in existence. How can you tell if you might have one? If you're lucky enough to come across a 1968 South African 1 center coin, it's worth having it professionally evaluated. Look for unusual toning, slightly darker coloration, and any irregularities in texture or edge. But remember, even slight differences must be verified by an expert for the coin to be considered part of the rare swart batch. For those looking to invest in rare coins, this coin 1 cent 1968 swart South Africa coin history.